Hello, welcome to Valerian Bay. I'm Suzanne and this is Luna, and we are so pleased that you are here today. So for today's well, you can have a little listen to what I've got to say about soul purpose, but if you've got a pendulum, that's going to be very, very helpful. If you haven't got a pendulum, you can pause this and you can, Luna wants to eat my flowers. You can pause this and you can put a ring on a piece of thread so that it's hanging, anything that's hanging so that it's got weighted on the bottom. So this is my pendulum. It's very pretty pink quartz, which I really, really love. So today I'm going to talk to you about what your soul purpose is. So we all come here with a very unique essence of who we are. Every single person is one of a kind. Which means that your soul purpose will be very unique and very different from other people. Now, we tend to assume that our soul purpose is going to be something like, I'm going to be a Reiki practitioner or a Reiki teacher or a crystal healer, or I'm going to be an acupuncturist, something like that. They are very tangible 3D words. So yes, that might be part of what your soul purpose is, but your soul purpose is more about who you are and the essence that you are bringing into this universe. And sometimes your soul purpose can be played out perfectly in very non-spiritual jobs. So for example, you might work in a busy office environment and find that a lot of people come to you to share their concerns and might have a chat with you. So there could be an element of a healer within you. You might find that you've chosen to be a vet or a doctor or a nurse. Again, that would be the healing one. I have written a list of different potential soul purposes, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to show you how to use your pendulum to pick which soul purposes might be for you. So you can love that. So stick around because it's going to be quite specific to really help you on your path. If you do want to work with me specifically to find out what your soul purpose is, and I've said this a bit later on the video because I've pre-recorded that, but click on the www.valerianbaycoaching.com and we can have a conversation. My soul purpose came to me, or one of my elements of soul purpose, because I've got such a load of things in the background where I do healing, I do spiritual clairvoyance, psychic work, spiritual teaching, I'm a therapist, I worked in engineering for 20 years, I worked in manufacturing for 20 years, I've helped people through all sorts of problems in all sorts of ways. So there's quite a lot going on there with what I do. But when I did a meditation around this, it was presented to me like the conductor on the Polar Express. So I enable people to step onto a path in which they can go to somewhere where belief needs to be real for them to feel the magic in life. So there's an element of me which is an enabler, which I thought was absolutely wonderful. I loved that. I thought it was beautiful. And there have been many, many, many people over the years who I've helped to step onto a different path that's more in alignment with their soul essence of who they are, so that they can live in more happiness and be open to all the wonders that there are in the world. And when you find your soul purpose, it will bring you great joy. You'll know you've got it because doing it will just make you overflow with happiness and love. It'll be brilliant. Right, so stay tuned. So next bit we're going to do is figuring out what there is for you. So what we've got here then is the list. And the list will go into the text of this video, but I've hand drawn this, so obviously it's just to show you that you can do that yourself. So these are little examples of what your soul purpose might be. If you have something else that pops into your mind that is intuitively, if you want to add something else onto this list or swap something else on this list, put it on there, because you are unique, as I've said, and you are one of a kind, and so I might have missed something, but this is just to give you an example. So what I've got on here is healer, teacher, enabler, inventor, soul soother, doorway to multi-dimensions, herbalist, and animal communicator. So as a healer, you might be a Reiki practitioner or a spiritual healer, or you might be a doctor, you might be a nurse. You know, there's different elements like that that don't always have to seem super spiritual for that to be your calling. You could also be a counsellor or a therapist, anything that helps you to make people feel better of the mind, body and soul. Teacher, it could literally be a teacher of children, a university professor, or somebody who isn't in a teaching profession but likes to work with other people to help them understand how to do things. So do keep your mind open. Now, one of mine is an enabler. One of my soul purpose elements is an enabler. I got this from a meditation, so it showed me that I was there to enable people to find the magic in life and to step onto a soul path. Inventor, these can be in professional settings or in your own environment. You know, it doesn't have to be huge, it can be a part-time thing, a hobby. A soul soother, so somebody who just helps you to feel better at a very core level. Doorway to multi-dimensions. Now, I've got a friend who's an artist, and there's something about her energy, if we meditate together, or the artwork that she creates, that just enables you to walk through to other dimensions. So I've put that on there just in case, because it's something that might be that wouldn't necessarily pop straight into your head, but it is there and it is a potential option because I know one. Herbalist, so what I mean by that is somebody who works with different plants that create healing outcomes potentially, or help people with different things. So for example, like the bark remedies, I believe it was Dr. Bark, BACH, created different solutions from different plants that helped people to feel better in different scenarios. And then I've also put animal communicator, in case you are somebody who works very closely with animals, and animals have got soul essence as well, and they're very good at communicating to us if we know how to listen. And my case in point. Little Luna there having a little bark. So what we do is I've put a cross at the bottom here, and you put your pendulum, so this is my pendulum, and you hold it like this between the two fingers. Okay, so I've just changed the angle just so you can see better. So what you can do is you can ask your unconscious mind, or you can ask spirit. And if you're asking spirit, what we mean is your ancestors in spirit, or people, friends and things that have passed over. I'm going to ask my unconscious mind. I ask my unconscious mind to show me what is my soul purpose. And you'll be able to see that that's starting to swing towards enabler. Now, it might not just be the one thing. So I'll ask, having acknowledged that enabler is part of my soul purpose, and I mentioned earlier that I enable people to step onto their soul path and help them find their soul purpose. and that I help them to find the magic in life by talking to them about things and clearing away their problems and different elements like that. So I ask my unconscious mind, is there another soul purpose on this list? So you can see that one is starting to aim towards soul soother. And that is something that, you know, is part of my mission with what I'm doing here, and that I want to work with people to help them become more in alignment with the soul essence of who they are, so that they can have more joy and happiness in this lifetime. Now, there's other ones that you could add to this list. You could add plants generally, because you know, if you're working with the environment, or if you're working with speaking to plants and communicating with plants to understand what they're doing, and the trees and things are amazing. They'll tell you how they can help you if you work with their energy, and they're also all connected up through the lands by the root systems. So even how they grow, they'll get certain ones to not grow for a certain amount of years, so that they can save up energy to really have a good growth spurt based on the weather that's coming. I mean, it's incredible when you get into understanding how plants and trees operate on this planet. They're fantastic. So if you do want to work with me, just go on to www.valerianbaycoaching.com. I can help you with meditations and hypnosis. I'm a hypnotherapist, and clear away different issues that might be blocking you from your soul purpose, and we can work together to put you on this path and help you have a wonderful, magical life. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Goodbye.